at this game, like this area that we're at. Look how grand. I'm looking up right now, and look how massive that chandelier is.
No, I
Uh,
never looked up before. Wow.
yeah, and actually, let me
Unfortunately,
zoom
I'm
out.
looking up, but I'm also my character. I'm kind of looking up her skirt, so I feel like I'm
Uh,
doing something wrong. So I got to
hey,
change the angle.
hey,
Sorry, ma'am.
hey.
I don't mean to be looking. Sorry about that, miss. I apologize.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I guess don't do that.
Welcome to Around the Corn, presented by the Knights Guild. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, because getting the likes and subscription fills the emptiness inside us. If you want to hear us speculate wildly on something in-game, throw your questions in the comments, and next episode we'll pretend to know the answer. Follow us in the Knights Guild on X. You can also learn a ton about the Knights Guild on Discord and the Guild website. All the links you need are in the description. I'm your host, Faux Hubris. As always, I'm joined by the man who never misplaces his hollow caches, Eddy Z. Eddy, tell everybody what we got for them today.
Well, I don't know if I misplaced them. I don't think I collected them all. But let's see. Yeah, we're gonna do a rundown of the tokenomics,
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
or at least what we think. Our opinions on it.
Gonna
The
speculate
land
wildly on
grab.
tokenomics.
Yeah, the land grab, and a new segment called COPIWiki Deep Dive.
Yeah, we've been thinking about doing that for a while. We've been talking about it, and we got a good question in the comments this week that's going to kind of push us to do that. So I'm excited. But before we get to any of that, I am going to brag because either I got some of my lore predictions right last episode, or I didn't get any of it right, depending on how you interpret Rob's cheeky comments on our last week's video. Right? He's like, "You got a lot right, you got a lot wrong," and then he was like, came back and he's like, "Or maybe I'm just trolling you."
Yeah,
So we know nothing new. Thanks a lot, Rob, for
yeah.
just lifting us up and then breaking our hearts, all in your kind of dry British way. We appreciate that.
I know, right? He's definitely trying to like just worse. Either we're getting closer, or he's just trying to divert. I don't know. We're trying to. We'll see. We'll see. I see how sneaky you are, Rob. I see how it is.
Yeah, I know it's sneaky, but I kind of expect it. It's like his sense of humor for sure is to do something exactly like that. So, but we also got some information. We asked a question a while back about the affiliate links, like how are people going to really profit from it? Because I think we were thinking that it was like an affiliate link to bring you to the game, but it makes way more sense as like an affiliate link to bring you to like a node sale or an NFT sale, right? So
I agree. I mean, there's going to be more. I think it's going to change, and I think that obviously the revenue from the node sales are. It's live. It's happening right now, so it makes sense to have an affiliate link for people to drive traffic to it. Speaking of which, here comes the what's this, the metro here,
the metro, the monorail,
the
yeah.
monorail.
We should hop on. Yeah, we were
Yeah,
talking.
we're gonna
We'll
hop
hop on
on
this
here.
one. But yeah, I was looking at the node sale, and I think there's two going on, right? There's the one on base, right? That's
Which is the ETH.
Yeah,
The ETH
and then
mint.
there's a Cardano one as well. And I was looking at the Cardano one, and there was like 500 left in that one, but they've sold
Ooh.
like over 5,000 nodes, man. Like that's wild. 5,000 nodes is kind of like a huge deal, and I'm not surprised because there's like a lot of people. There's a lot of reason to want to hold on to those nodes or to get a bunch of those nodes, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's all based on the. I mean, it's clearly about the rewards and how much you're going to get. I mean, some people have speculated that maybe people should buy Kopi. I mean, but we'll see in the end. I mean, I think in the end, long term, if you're going to hold the node, it's going to be for. I would hope for a long term investment. So it really depends on how, I guess, your investment strategy is. Whether you're a long holder.
I think that's what.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you, Eddy. I was gonna say, I just think that's kind of what it comes down to is what time frame are you thinking, right? Like the nodes are probably not the ultimate investment for this cycle. Did you get off and I stuck on? Or I hopped off and then I jumped back on.
I hopped off.
Oh no, I missed you. We're
Oh,
leaving.
you left? Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll hop off for the next stop and then you can come
All
meet
right,
me.
yeah,
But I was
I'll
gonna
meet you
say,
there. I'll meet you there.
So I was gonna say that I think if you're thinking more long term, the nodes make sense. a lot of nodes make sense, and if you're thinking shorter term, maybe it's COPI. But I mean that, if or you're like me and you, right? We're thinking both short term and long term, right? So we own nodes and we own COPI, right? So
Hmm.
I think that makes, for me and you at least, that makes the most sense. I don't. I mean, others, I would be surprised if people just think nodes are a waste of time or a waste of money, because they're clearly not. I think they look like a really good thing to be holding on to in the long term.
Yeah, I don't know how nodes work. I don't know much about them, but I'm curious if there's any other advantages that we haven't seen it, that maybe they can implement later on. I don't know if there's like a server thing that could be done. I don't know. Uh, that'd be kind of interesting to see if there's anything added that we don't even know about that could be done with nodes. Um, I'm looking forward to that as well.
And so also this week I put a lot of effort into. I know I've been teasing something that's coming up that I have planned for when the sliders are released, and I put a lot of effort. I got it all set up this week, ready to go. I put in some time into my big plan, my big surprise for something to like give back to the community a little bit here, and so I'm going to be bringing more of that out as we get closer to the sliders. So that's something to look forward to.
Oh yeah, the sliders, man! I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see. We're gonna see so many ridiculous things. It's gonna be wild.
Should I hop? Are you hopping off?
I am hopping off. Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
I
are
don't
we
want to
here?
lose you again, man. I'm a bad travel companion. I don't know
Oh,
where.
we're in
Two
the
stops away.
hotel.
Where are we?
Okay, yeah. This is actually where we can get to the elevators to get to the racing, to the
Oh yeah.
pavilion.
Okay.
I
All
think if you
right.
go down to the bay, actually, you know what? Let's keep going. Let's go to the utility plus maintenance. I'm kind of curious what that looks like.
When you were like, if you're on a train at Disney or something, and you just stay on it when you're like on the monorails, and you just keep going.
To the very
If you
end, yeah.
stay on this train, it's kind of like the same feeling, because it brings you somewhere where you feel like you're probably not supposed to be, like that's not fully developed yet or finished. So you're kind of in the interworkings of the Toledo Valley. That's kind of cool.
Well, let's go check it out. I'm curious. I've only done this trip once, and I can't remember what's on the other end.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
So while we're going for this ride, do you want to talk about the big thing from COPI Cafe,
Yeah,
the big news?
yeah. I'm assuming you're trying to go into the next topic, the land grab.
Yeah, I mean, or the tokenomics. I mean, either way, it's both of them are such huge things. Let's start off with the land grab though, because we got some good information about that. I was excited.
Yeah, I thought that was very, very cool. I think how they plan on doing it, and also the fact that they're talking about a Q2 release on that, which I'm glad that they mentioned the deadline. I mean, I always think deadlines are just a way to keep us on track, right? Even if there are delays. Heck, I
I
think
think
even as of
I got to correct
today,
you though. I think it was the beginning of
Q3.
Q3. Yeah.
Sorry, yes, I did
No,
say
yeah,
Q2. Yeah, you're right.
yeah,
But it's Q3, and I was honestly expecting Q4, if not
yeah.
into Q1 of next year. I mean, I feel like again, it's so much going on, and I honestly, even with like, hell, even I was gonna say that even recently heard that even Grand Theft Auto might be potentially delayed into 2026. I think is what I heard. Oh, we're not even able to get out of here. Look, the
Where
doors aren't
are we
even
right
the
now?
doors aren't even
This is what I'm
open.
talking about. We're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
We're in the no-go zone.
They're like, no,
But
you cannot get off. Okay, all right, fine.
yeah,
Well, I guess we're gonna go
I
right back to the very beginning.
do you feel like though that was an accelerated time frame? Because I
Uh,
feel,
I
or
think
do you
they're
think?
pushing the limits. Yes, I think
Yeah,
they're really pushing their team to progress, and they want to get something out fast for the community because,
yeah,
we've been waiting for so long. And honestly, it's not like they owe us that much. I mean, they do. I mean, we did buy assets, right? But like, this is a game. I mean, this is going to
yeah.
be a forever game, and I would be willing to wait a little longer. Are we stopping again?
Yeah, these are stops that I don't know what they're for. I mean,
Oh
this is for
wow.
something in the future, right? Like
Yeah, these doors will
maybe
open. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
Interesting.
I don't know what
Okay,
that's gonna be to,
that's
but
cool. Cool.
I
Um,
mean, I think that's front and center in their mind, that we have taken our really hard earned dollars, and we've given it to the team, and because we believe in the project and we believe in the future of the game.
mhm.
And I definitely think that's clearly why they're trying to push this out faster than maybe. But I also got the impression from COPI Cafe that they were kind of surprised that things were going along as fast as they were, that all the work they had done to create effective workflows and to do the 90-day plan and the 180-day plan and all those all that time they spent in that kind of planning phase at the beginning of this year has kind of moved things along faster than they might have thought, and that's why maybe we're getting, the end of Q2, the start of Q3, we're gonna get Solace, we're gonna get, which one was Fortune the last one that they're saying?
Yeah,
Fortune
Fortune,
maybe by the
Solace,
end of
and
the year.
Esperanza. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I think we're not allowed to get out of here as well. Come on now. I wanted
I
to
know
have
we're
fun out
trapped
here.
in here forever.
I wanted to get out and play. I actually was like, oh, I want to jumping around
Yeah,
over
what
there.
is going on over here?
Yeah.
Someone told me that maybe you could see the blue track from over here, but I've never seen it, so I don't know. I mean,
I
I think
have
they
not
think
seen it
is
either.
that's the blue track, but I don't think that's actually what the blue track is. I don't think that's
I
it.
don't think so either, but we're definitely going back to the beginning. But I don't
Yeah.
think that's the blue track.
Or maybe, I mean, it'd be crazy if it is, but
Uh,
yeah, we're going back to the beginning here.
maybe. I don't know. Actually, I'm thinking about it. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know.
Well, that was a good
It
ride.
is blue. So
Let's take it two more trips. Let's go to the hotel.
we're talking land grab. We're talking about their time frames I mean, did you think that was that the impression that you got, that things were going more smoothly than maybe they thought 3 or 4 months ago?
More smoothly. Yeah, I mean, if they picked up more people. I still think they need more. I mean, I think
Yeah,
it's just a
definitely.
lot. I mean, obviously they need. Why? Because I mean, granted, there are people. There, depending on how they're how picky and how detailed all the graphics are, right? And that's the thing I think they're trying to get right is the graphics and the physics and on everything. And it's very hard, right? They're moving fast, and I wouldn't want that to hurt the quality of the game. Plus, if you think about it, I mean, I don't want them to rush through and have a broken game at launch either. I want something that's solid, that doesn't glitch, can't doesn't duplicate items. That's kind of the one thing I'm kind of concerned about, which goes into the tokenomics of things.
Yeah.
But
Well, so
yeah,
let's kind of just segue into that, because the tokenomics was a huge part of the episode. I don't know that they really gave us a lot of details about the tokenomics, but
no,
they did say, they gave us some kind of background information that, I mean, me as a economics major loves to hear that they have real, like, live professional economists on the team. They have two now that are working it out, because you really need to model and kind of go through every little possible thing, because like you say, if there's a glitch and all of a sudden, like, there's just one tree that doesn't die when you chop it down, and you can keep chopping it down endlessly for infinite wood, then that's going to glitch the whole game and the whole economy, and they probably have to kind of make contingency plans and figure out what happens if there's like a glut of wood on the market. Will it,
hmm
does it mess up the whole game?
yeah, that's definitely been a concern of mine is duplication of items because it's a common thing to try to figure out in any game. I mean, but there is ways to like lock it down. I'm gonna go down there. By the way, I'm gonna jump off this.
I was like, where are you going, man? I don't know.
And
Do you, well, what's going to really mess us up is when they turn on fall damage, and we'll
yeah,
just
well, that's
we
why it's
forget.
great. That's why it's great to explore. I love it. I mean, it's just the fact
Yeah,
that we can go out here and do whatever we want in the meantime, and check out the designs and the architecture in this world. Oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna fall.
Do you know where you're going? Do you have like
No, I have
have you
no
been
idea.
around? You're just, yeah.
No plans.
We're
I'm
just running around where we're not supposed to be, for
yeah,
sure.
100%. I'm surprised the robots haven't caught us. The security, the cornucopias security.
That would be a really fun use for them, if like if you're somewhere where you're not supposed to be, like a robot comes and finds you and just puts the scan on you, and next thing you know, you're teleported somewhere else.
Yeah, it's like, hey, citizen, get down from there.
It's like they're like, what? It's when you use that voice, they're like little mini RoboCops, right? They're
Right,
little flying
right,
RoboCops.
right, exactly. I just jumped all the way down here.
Alrighty.
Uh, let's
So we're
see.
gonna be getting that, like, it was a 2-page document, but now it sounds like it's gonna be much bigger, much longer, which is
hmm
probably good for us because it means more information. That's one thing that you probably should know about
Yeah,
economists out there, is that they can turn any 2-page document into a 100-page document with ease.
right.
So
That's like standard, right, for them.
yeah, definitely don't pay an economist by the word. You want to that's probably going to be too expensive for you.
Yeah. What else? What else did they bring up? I can't.
I didn't know what the terminology of faucets. They mentioned like there's going to be faucets and sinks. I think that maybe means like the flow, like how where things will pool up and where things will flow to in terms of like money. They also mentioned utility for the COPI token, which has been one of my like few criticisms that I have of is that they've given us like a lot of reasons to sell Copy and buy the NFTs, and the NFTs we all believe are going to have utility, but they haven't given us a reason yet to own Copy in terms of like gameplay, and it sounds like that's coming, and I'm really excited about that because it's gonna maybe drive demand a little bit and give people a reason to go out there and buy some more Copy.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely not going to be much, especially like right now. I mean, and again, that kind of goes back to, what's going to be there at launch, right? Is the launch is what matters, and what is out there and really like what can be playable, what can be used. I mean, I think skins again. I don't want to repeat myself. Skins, guns, um,
Or a giant bear.
aesthetics.
Like as
Yeah.
we not as we saw in that, it
Oh yeah,
was a good
yeah.
looking bear. I
It
mean,
was. I
maybe some bear traps.
so my thing about, and again, this game is so big that it's like it's something that shouldn't be in the developers' minds, but it's also like, I mean, I look at this game, like look, this area that we're at. Look how grand. I'm looking up right now, and look how massive that chandelier is.
No, I
Uh,
never looked up before. Wow.
yeah, and actually, let me
Unfortunately,
zoom
I'm
out.
looking up, but I'm also my character. I'm kind of looking up her skirt, so I feel like I'm doing something
Uh,
wrong. So I got to
hey,
change the angle.
hey,
Sorry, ma'am.
hey.
I don't mean to be looking. Sorry about that, miss. I apologize.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I guess don't do that then. I guess look
Yeah,
down
yeah. We'll see.
and on
We'll
your
use
camera.
your
Thank
video
goodness.
for
Like,
that
yeah, we're using
screenshot.
my video for this. Okay, good.
Yeah.
But it just looks so big, right? And now, for me, it's this game. I always would always have wanted like variety, right? That's the one thing. Like the fact that like Dave has spoke about the land grabs and the different variations of what people will be able to do in terms of having the option of like if even if you have a small plot, you can probably have the option of designing it in a way that it's vertical, right? Or
Mhm.
or which obviously most people will do, and people will be able to design it the way that they want. And so we're talking about they want people to go to each like town or each city in all of the different locations in Solace 1, 2, and 3, and in the other theme zones that they want variety. So my thing is like, how much variety also will there be when it comes down to animals? Like, will it always be the one same looking bear? I feel like there should be different personality type of like
Yeah,
animals. Like, I feel like it shouldn't be
bigger
just a
bears, smaller bears.
even or even just the same bear but a different variety. Like just like
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe he has a scar in his one of them has a scar in
Well,
his
that's what I was just thinking,
eye.
like a scar, like a legendary bear that's got like a
Yeah.
scar. I mean, because I think, I mean, that's kind of like World of Warcraft was like there would be a version of an enemy, and then there would be like basically the same version of the enemy somewhere else, but with like different colors. And then you would find them all over, but they'd be like, I I I I think you're saying like, can we get a little bit more variety in like the skin, the animation, right? Like
Right.
you want to see like not bears that are just the same but different colors, but there's like discernible differences to these,
Yeah,
a bear in
minor
Esperanza
differences.
versus Solace.
Exactly, and it doesn't have to be anything massive. It's just the
Yeah,
fact that if I see a bear, it shouldn't be the same bear.
right.
This is my thing.
Yeah, like where you're out
Uh,
hunting in that area and there's like there's 12 identical things
yeah,
that you can see walking around, and you're right.
it's like we're just cloning bears now, which is I
Yeah.
mean, at the same time, I expect that in the beginning, and who knows if it'll even be done in the future. But it's just something, of course. It's just again, just
Yeah.
me being nitpicky as to what I want for a game, and can they make it even happen? I don't know.
I think
Um,
that's probably the freedom of a forever game, though, where you make one bear at the beginning, and then 3 years from now, when you okay, everything is built out, and you got Kevin, who's got the developer, the new guy who has got nothing to do. Well, let's test him out. Let's have him make a different kind of bear and use that as a way to like kind of integrate him into the team. And then over time, you start get now you have two types of bears, and you have like three types of wolves or whatever, and so you can really grow that over time and have all these different varieties of things out there.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, either way, I thought it was a great leak. I think the graphic it looked amazing. The graphics, the motion,
Yeah,
um, it looked top
very
tier. I
lifelike.
mean, I'm curious as to how, like, yeah, exactly, lifelike. I'm curious how the animation of it taking you out. Like, what's it gonna do? One swing and we're dead. What?
Yeah, right. Like they claw at you,
And
and
how? Yeah,
yeah,
and I'm curious how the animation would look like in terms of harvesting. That's one thing. Like I remember with Red Dead Redemption, they actually would you see him like just cutting up the animal. Like I don't know how PG you can make that, but I'm curious
yeah.
how that would
It,
look.
I mean, I think that's kind of been a lot of different games have done that now at this point, where maybe it's kind of numbed people to seeing it in games. I mean, I've been seeing that in games for 10 years now. The
Hmm.
harvesting of like the animal skin and all of that. Um, it, I've been thinking a lot about the lore lately. I've been doing, and thinking about, and it makes me wonder, outside of these domes on planet Earth, where we're above, like what's the life like down there? Do we scoop up all what was left and bring it up here, and then now like, are they refugees as well being brought up here to populate these domes? Or is there still even life down below? It's something I've been thinking about a little bit lately.
Yeah, that's very interesting because I'm curious. Will we ever be able to even touch the surface of the Earth? Is my thing, but which I really doubt. I don't think that's going to be a thing. I
Yeah.
don't. I think the whole concept is remaining on a bubble. But who
So
knows? You never know.
you want you want to hear how nerdy this conversation that I had about that got? Um, so I think I was talking to Josh or Bookie about this, and I guess one of them said that Scruffy is the only person to fall out of the domes back early on. He was because he was one of the first people on here, and there was a bug and he fell out of the dome, and he said it took him about 60 seconds to fall. Because I asked the question, is like, where are the domes situated? Are they situated in like the stratosphere? Are they in the layer above, like the mesosphere, so the meteorosphere or something?
Hmm.
Like where are they sitting in the atmosphere? And so the answer to the question was like, well, Scruffy said it took him about 60 seconds to fall, and so if you think of terminal velocity and how long it takes a human to fall, that would put the domes in this zone, right? And that's how we got to that conversation. So
Interesting.
yeah, right. I
Hey,
mean, it's a kind of a crazy idea to think that that they're thinking about such that much detail, that they're like, well, if we're in this zone in the sky, because I mean, we're up here looking now above these clouds here. Um, where exactly are we? Maybe they did figure out how long it would take for a person to fall down there, and that's exactly how long Scruffy fell for.
yeah, I'm actually curious. I mean, I might because what? Yeah, because we're what over the Atlantic, right?
Yeah, that's the word. We're over the Atlantic Ocean. So that's not only that's like however high up we are, plus the distance of the ocean to the like the basin of the floor there, right? So now you have even more distance up that you are, because there's, a mile or two of water that's missing.
God, sorry. I'm also really. I always am amazed at the quality of this game.
I know, right?
Sorry, I keep like
It's
mesmerizing because I'm looking at things moving, like the little monorail. So I can only imagine watching people like down there.
This is the first time I've really been able to enjoy it, because I just got my computer back. So,
Oh, okay.
so I'm looking down and I'm seeing one of the little bubble jets. I mean, just looking straight down at the lights coming up of the tower and all the little details. To think, like, all the people that put time and effort into building this, every little you know pixel almost was created by somebody at this point. And I mean, it's just all pretty. It's just all really incredible.
Yeah, this is insane. God, I can't even. I don't even how. I'm just thinking like, how did they build this like from the beginning? Like wow,
Yeah.
this is interesting. That's because it's in the sky, it's in the bottom, and like the idea of just having a world built in a bubble up in the sky is just I've never even thought about it like that.
A journey of 1,000 steps, my friend. It begins with the first step. Or a journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step, right?
All right, so we're about to start get a race on now that you got your computer back
Yeah.
from getting serviced. So now let's see
Yeah.
what you're made of.
Oh God, I'm gonna be so unproud. I mean, it'll probably be worse than it was when I had a computer that would bug me out at the race because I'm actually nervous. Hold on, let me.
Ah, here we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
Have you practiced at all?
No, this is my first time honestly racing
All right,
in about a month.
I'll go easy
Like,
on you.
yeah, like wait, what's the acceleration button again?
Right trigger, right?
I mean, the last time I really raced was with the Valkyries, so like I still have that racing. Like oh man, that's bad.
I don't know. I wish I could see you in my rearview mirror.
Yeah.
I haven't raced in a bit, but I've been playing Helldivers 2 for a while. It's a really fun game.
I need to play that game. You talk about it. And
Yeah,
it's
it's a lot of fun. I hope they incorporate a game that's like that. That's like a game type that's you fight against the NPCs, like a certain amount of type of creature. Like, remember, I think we were talking about zombies, but I didn't want it to be like zombies, but like
Who was it that was in our comments? I think it was Matt, the new marketing director, that was said, "Please, no zombies."
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be zombies. I mean, like aliens sounds amazing too.
Oh man, you hit me!
Oh, I hit
and
you.
I exploded.
Oh, I didn't realize.
This is oh.
I hit the
can't
wall.
wait to show that side by side of you hitting me and nothing happening.
It's called strategy.
Yeah.
No, I didn't even know you were there.
That's fair. Sounds like every woman I've ever known in my life.
It's part of the game, man.
Yeah.
What's that saying? Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Well, I mean, I've heard Scruffy say 1,000 times, "Rubbin's racing," right? I think that's from a movie or something. But in that case, rubbing is obliterating my vehicle. So this is like an interesting, maybe I don't want to say problem with this track, but in a 3-lap race, I have no chance of catching up to you unless you make a mistake.
Unless I make a mistake. I mean, and that's kind of why I brought up in the suggestions that this game should be, at the corner there, at the wall, that this game should potentially be more of a 5 to 6 or maybe 8 laps game, just because I feel like there's more at risk when you have more laps. You have to be a little bit more perfect. I feel like because when we've raced, we've done the Knights Racing League, and congratulations to Racer. Racer won that, by the way. I don't know if anybody actually has announced that, but good congratulations to Racer. I got second place. You know, on the finale, I had during that last race that we were doing their laps. Even regardless, it was going to be the same. I was going to get second place regardless, but I had a blackout, and my entire neighborhood went out.
Oh no! So but you still got second place?
Yeah, I still got second place in terms of points and all that. So, but either way, congratulations to Racer winning the Knights, the first ever racing league, sponsored by the Knights Guild. And thanks for Block by Block. He did a great job hosting it. It was a lot of fun. And Josh also joined. He had fun.
I'm going to. I've been talking to Blocky about having him on to talk about the racing league, so to try to get more people know about it, and more people are participating. So
yeah, the game master basically is how I would call him.
Well, I am rusty. I am 104.
Oof.
Yeah,
103. That's garbage.
That's bad.
That's terrible. Oh my god. 103. Should we even stream this? Should we even publish this?
Can we try to maybe I can mess with the graphics and try to change the numbers to like a 101.5?
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Make it like sub 1 minute.
Yeah, sub 1 minute.
We're like at 59.88. Just fudge the numbers, man. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's not like we're in crypto and numbers matter.
But it's been that's right. They don't matter. The numbers are fake. But we're talking about the Knights Guild, and it sounds like the guilds are front and center in the minds of the dev team as well,
Yeah, I love that. I thought that was a really great announcement for the guilds. I think that's huge. I mean, people know that you and I are in the Knights Guild, and I think that's huge. And we brought up the concern of, man, I was looking at our wallets, and it's like that's like 16 assets that they have to choose in a quick amount of time. And I was like, whoa, that's how are they going to do that? And the fact that they announced stuff like something like a program where they can help guilds and they can assign certain people to, in a way, kind of like decide the which land plots they should get by proxy, in a way, like they're so you give people the right to do that. I thought it's brilliant. I think it's smart. um and and yeah, I mean, you just have to trust your team, I mean, to make the right decisions. I mean, I feel like they also, I'm really excited with how they brought up the idea of how they're going to probably do that, right? And I mean, what other project out there right now? Like, there's Pavia. I mean, I'm going to name a few. Pavia. There's Clay Nations, right? I don't know much about the Clay Nations one though, so maybe I shouldn't bring that one up. But because I know people can play that in within the game now, I think there's a way that you can go in there and actually see your clay in action. But there's also, what did it say? The Ape Society, right? But what other crypto metaverse project is allowing you to go into the world first? Not, oh, there's also Cardano Land, which I'm interested in as well. But there's no other game that allows you to go into the world itself and investigate and look at the resources and see what's out there, because we don't know what is close to wood, what is close to ores, or this quantasite resource, like what is out there, water or fishing or activities nearby. Because besides Cornucopias is the only one that's doing that. And the fact that we're able to go ahead and into this massive vast world that we're already in, like this is an example of Kalito Valley, and we're right now in the pavilion. But
Yeah.
the fact that we'll be able to look around and go to these actual plots physically and see them, and then later on choose. And I think they even said something about having maybe I think it's smart to have like a like button or some sort of heart button or something to indicate that, hey, I want to save this location. And I think that information
There's a
should be
ton of
public.
locations.
Yeah, I think that information should be made public as to how many people, what land plot has had the most hits and likes on it. Because then that kind of lets people know, hey, this is where the more value of, where people see value in the land plot. I think that should be a thing that should happen. I don't know if that's something that they thought about, but
What?
it would be nice. Like if I hit the heart, like, hey, I want location, you know, by the waterfall area, and then 30, like 300 people like that area, then that's a hot item right there. That's a hot
Yeah,
location.
you might need to go out and buy a mythic to get it,
Yeah,
right?
you need to have like a good heat map, if you will, on
So
in
that was
terms of.
something that I noticed in the discussion, that they are talking about
I'm gonna go
being able to
downstairs real
see,
quick.
yeah, how many points of interest there are in each area, right? So you can see that there is, when you look at your little hologram thing that's going to be on your wrist, you'll be able to see, okay, this land plot has access to water, it
Hmm.
has a mine, and it's good for fishing. This land plot might, then you go over it and it might have 4 points of interest, where this land plot's also good for farming.
Hmm.
And so I wanted to actually ask you, when I heard it, and I just remembered it right now, I was like, I need to ask Eddie Z this because he's going to have a good opinion. That, do you think ultimately what's going to determine a mythic versus a legendary versus a rare is how many points of interest the land plot has? So like if a small, let's say a small mythic has access to 6 points of interest, then a legendary might have access to 5. Do you think that's how it's going to break down when people are going out there looking for it, or do you think also there's other factors that people are going to take in?
I also think it's also like aesthetics as well as to the location as well. Like if once you go, like if you're in an location, right? If you're in an area, it's just like real life. You're gonna look at the sort of the scenery around you. So what's it look like too? Like, is it like paradise and you see a waterfall on your left and you see a lake on your right, and then you see behind you there's like a nice forest. You know, like all depends. And how close are you to, so like an actual revenue driven city, like, and actually to the main core city, right, to the center of these locations, to the central hub location.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's also going to play a thing to it, because it all depends on transportation, right, as far as like getting from one place to another. So that's another thing to consider. So that's why I feel like there should be like a heat map as to what people are looking at and liking. I also don't even think it's going to mint all, like everybody's going to be like taking their deeds and redeeming them right away either. I feel like there's going to be a lot of plats that are going to be vacant for a while because people are going to be selling them in on third party website, like JPEG Store, or even like maybe in the future at that point, Cornucopias will have their own marketplace up and ready and up and open for trades like that. Um,
It made me wonder if I want to take all my plots and wait for Fortune to come out in Q4, right? Or do I want to put all my land, or is it better to go all now? Do you think people are going to wait more, or they're going to be so excited when the new one comes out that they're going to take all those land plots, and then they're going to regret it when Fortune release they don't have a land plot to go get it?
yeah, you got to really. I mean, it all depends on the person. You got to really diversify, like, and choose your plan now. Like, if you're gonna stick with all your plots and solids, you're gonna just do it, right? And then but you have to remember that that means you're not getting certain resources that are going to be in Esperanza and Fortune. So if you have three, that's what I if you have, I think that's why I think a good rule. I mean, and me not knowing anything, right? I don't know. This is all speculation, by the way. We're not part of the team or anything, but
Yeah,
I would want to
we're
think
just
like,
two dudes guessing.
yeah, exactly. We're just guessing all this, but like if there's three locations, right? I would want to have at least three large land plots, right? So that way I can have one in each location. I would want to have at least three of each size, if I could, right? And which I don't. I definitely own land plots. I think
You just made
that
me so nervous. I'm like trying to think how many large ones I have, and I all of a sudden had the urge to go buy one. I think I only have. I hope I
yeah,
have 3 large
the
land plots now.
prices in this is something I don't know if you even want to show, like, but like, and just pop it up right here. But
Yeah,
in terms of like the fact that there's the prices compared to uh what they were when they minted, they're significantly low right now. Like, I mean, I think it only you can only are positive if you're selling the copious size, maybe the
mm.
epics, but everything from the smalls to the mediums right now, everybody's taking
You would know better than
almost
I do.
negative.
Have you ever seen? I've tried to do research. Do the copious is rarely sold. I mean, I think they maybe only sold a couple times.
Yeah, I've been spying on them. I can't believe I missed one like months back. I'm still upset about it. Like, one person sold a Copius for like 800 ADA, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" And I was just like distraught because I missed it. I was like, because I had a delay. I was like, does that say 800? That's not a 800 ADA. Is that a 800 ADA? And then someone bought it under me. Like, I was just, well, I was contemplating, in my eyes, correct? Like, am I right? Like, is that right? And yeah, sure enough, it was like 800
I
ADA.
mean,
Uh,
who did that? Like
no idea.
maybe they misclicked and they meant to say 8,000 ADA because
I
I mean,
think that's what happened. I bet you someone meant to sell it for
oh
8,000 ADA,
man,
and then they forgot to click a zero there, and yeah, they sold it for that much.
oh how mad
That's
are
just
you at life when that
yeah.
happens,
I felt
man?
bad. I was like, man, can they refund that guy if he ever find out?
That's exactly the kind of mistake that I've made throughout my life, where I've when it comes to numbers and keying things in, and dyslexia and ADHD, and I'll just and I'll go back and I'll realize, like, oh, what an error I put. It was supposed to be 1,000, not 10,000.
Eesh, that's just
That's
that's a
painful.
rough mistake. Yeah, exactly. All right, so here we are at the convention center. This is just one stop after from the main entrance. I'm just getting off here. But yeah, I'm gonna meet you at the Taste of Solace, Faux and Hubris.
Yep.
And but yeah, I know in our video from last week, someone brought up a question. What was Was it who was the who was the person who brought up that question?
It was my friend Tracer. So
Racer.
Tracer was one of
Good
my
question.
first people I was talking to when I joined, and we had like lots of conversations about the NFTs, and he's kind of like heavier on the NFTs, so the NFTs are really important to him.
Okay.
And he brought up a question that I think maybe is on a lot of people's minds. He was asking about the tree NFTs. And I thought that would be a good reason to do our new segment, COPIWiki Deep Dive. All right, Eddie. So looking at the COPIWiki, there's not a lot about the trees. It was a partnership with something called Veritree, where they, I guess, plant real life trees, and it's kind of cool that Cornucopias is doing something like that, where you can give back to the environment while you're playing in this digital world. but there's also, this idea of the utility that I mean, I think that was part of the promise, is that these NFTs would have utility. And I'm reading what the utility says, and this is what I'll read it off to you. It can be planted in your home bubble. So that's right, number the first one. And so now that the home bubbles are not something that we're getting, I wonder how this is going to transition. It says one or more real life trees will be planted around the world when the NFT is purchased, and for ongoing second market sales. So that's cool. I guess I see you coming in. I got you there. Additional benefits to NFT true holders will be announced in the future. So it seems like this is kind of like a blank canvas, really. And maybe the team is doing other things, and they're not focused on the tree NFTs, but that they can really do anything they want with them. What do you think? Do you think that, what would you, if I put you in charge of cornucopias today, what would you say that the utility for these trees are, these tree NFTs?
Yeah, I it's hard to tell. I mean, I didn't know how they were going to work either. I mean, I would assume that there would be some sort of lumber, a little bit of a pick me up to kind of get you started to create certain things. Maybe somebody can have like the ability to create tools real quickly instead of starting with nothing.
Hmm.
It's hard to it's really hard to tell. I don't know if it's how they plan on using that, especially now that they got rid of the home bubble portion in the beginning. So, or are they, does that mean that there's less value for them in the short term and they're more valuable in the long term
Yeah.
now? So it's kind of hard to tell. I don't think that's something that was talked about by the team at all when they decided to pivot away from the home bubble at the beginning of the launch of the game, because now that obviously they postponed it. So that is a good question for all the NFT holders of these three different NFT trees that are planted in Senegal. Um, I mean, what's one thing I've always been curious about, and personally, is can we see the results of the planting of the trees? I'm curious, like other images about this
Oh yeah, that's
of the
true. I wonder
trees.
if there's any of that out there.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool to be able to see like all the progress that has been made out of the fact that these trees were minted and people supported it and they minted out and and but yeah, it's a good question for especially for the people that are holding like mythics and epics. I mean, even down to all of them obviously,
I
but like
bought
I'm
a
curious.
legendary of each. I wanted to have a legendary of each one.
Okay.
So
Yeah, and I mean,
it's
I would
important to
hope
me.
I would hope that there would be some sort of a little bit of a benefit. I mean, maybe honestly, I wonder if it's even like a uh, a problem. Honestly, I think maybe it's kind of cool that it is a longer term hold to get the benefits out of it.
As most NFTs are, for sure. So
Yeah, as most of yeah, exactly. Because then at that point, the economy is more well established. You also don't want to just throw in a random kink into the economy that might,
mhm.
especially if it's like something like lumber. Oh yeah, you can get like an extra. You can get maybe 50 lumber every month. Is that way doesn't
That's how I would turn the utility for these trees. So
hmm
I would we're in Taste of Solace right now, and one of the NFTs, I believe this one was a little bit less expensive than the other two at the mint, and it's a Douglas fir, and we know that that's kind of like the Solace uh, topography where you have these Douglas firs
uh,
we're looking at right now. So I would think like holding them, maybe you have they grow a little faster in your area, and you can
oh,
get more lumber and chop them down.
it's a
You
good
can get
point.
them. Yeah, I think that's how I would make it. So you have, maybe you have an epic like I have, or I mean I have a legendary, it'll be, you know, X amount of trees will grow in my land plots,
That's a good point.
faster. So I think that would be a really cool utility for it. It gives me, a little bit of extra lumber. The Douglas fir is here, and then in Solace, and then they have, let me see here, the oh, I don't know what this one, it's like a berry tree. I'm trying to find out
So
what the
it's a
name of it.
Douglas. I think it's called like a Douglas fern or something like that.
Well, so this is the series two that in Senegal, Africa. I don't know if it says what kind of tree this is, but I know this one was special because it was a fruiting tree. So maybe there's like some kind of food and cooking
Uh,
aspect to
yeah.
that.
Oh, actually, yeah, you're
And
right. The Douglas fir is actually the one that you were just talking about.
yeah,
But then
and
the other
then
one is the 2,
yeah,
the second one, right? That came out?
the one that's like the
Yep,
African plains, the one that's like from Senegal.
yep.
Yeah. Um, it doesn't. It says Series 1, Senegal,
Yeah, the
Africa.
first
It
one.
doesn't say what kind of tree it is though. But
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
does I don't know my
it's
trees, but
yeah. I don't know what trees either. That's my favorite looking tree though. That's
it reminds me of The Lion King. That's the only like, I feel like I've seen that tree in The Lion King.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's exactly right. That is the Lion King tree.
You
But
know?
it gives me this bonsai feel. So I
Yeah,
like that about it. Cause I have some bonsais
yeah,
in the
and
backyard.
but,
So it's interesting. It'll be interesting to find out how this how they pivot from this, or if they even need to pivot. Maybe the home bubble was just like a small part of it, and that there was a plan for more utility all along.
yeah, I mean, and I don't I mean, and the only thing is, like, could it be that is it just the one tree? I mean, again, there are hundreds, so, like, is it one NFT, one tree, and that's the what it's gonna get you that, and maybe, yeah, maybe it does grow 40, 50%, 70% faster than a normal other tree because you have it, so that's actually kind of a plus, right? So that could be useful, so that kinda does give value to a mythic, tree. I think that would gives you value, especially if it's gonna yield you more wood just for, like, like a day like a weekly, you know, a weekly reward. That's actually kinda nice.
Mhm.
Um, that's
I've heard people suggest also things like with the cheeky racer suit, where maybe it's you get a little discount on fuel. That's the way that makes utility for that,
mm,
and then or maybe the bobblehead's the same thing because here these are all NFTs that were sold and we don't know what role they're going to play. We think it's going to play some role, right? But
yeah,
it's really kind of wide open, and with the tokenomics paper coming out, and I don't think they're going to get into that kind of granular detail in it, but
yeah,
it's if they're giving like the broad strokes of the economy in the tokenomics, they have to be internally, I would think, thinking about these things on the micro level. What are the tree NFTs for the bobbleheads and all the NFTs that are coming in the future? I mean, I'm the building NFTs and everything. It's gonna all have to come together and be part of one cohesive economy.
yeah, and it's not like they couldn't do it for the what they planned out now. I mean, they say that we're gonna have, like, a community common area where people can build their own they have are gonna have their own space. Who's to say that won't be a thing that could be done in there. I don't know. I mean, I'd be very congested. I'd feel right in terms of how it all depends on how concentrated that center town. I forget what it's called. The center location is the central hub for all these
Yeah.
points are. But I mean, we'll see. There's so many questions that are going to be
Um,
that are going to come up now with the change and pivot in the home bubble.
If
What's
I
so
have like some cool looking Senegal tree in my land plot, I'm not gonna want to cut it down either though, right? Like because maybe there'll be value in letting it. I mean, if you have a tree and you could have cut it down for lumber, but also if you let it grow for a year, or I mean, are the trees gonna stop growing? Can they
Mhm.
keep getting bigger and bigger? If you, it's a kind of an interesting question of what happens if you just let the trees get thicker and fatter, or all of a sudden your land plot like the only redwood forest in all of
Mhm.
Solace.
Yeah, I agree. And also, what if it's not the only resource that trees give you? I mean, isn't I mean they can give you like stuff like sap stuff like that too. I mean, maybe there's
That's yeah, that's
other resources, other tools, other creations, other crafting materials that it could potentially give you. So maybe there is plenty to look into that. I mean, we shall see how
yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
excited.
I just like the look of these trees though. It looks they look amazing. Uh,
Yeah. We'll have to do more deep dives into the Kopi wiki. If you're out there and you're watching this and you have questions about things that you've seen in the Kopi wiki and you want to hear us speculate on, like what are your little nuggets from the Kopi wiki? This is Tracers. He wants to know about the trees, but what is your nugget in there? And then we can always talk about that if you put it in the comments. So
mhm.
definitely do that. Well, Eddie, I think that's going to be the end of another podcast for us. As always, I'll have to get your closing thoughts because you always kind of at the last minute think of some cool stuff to bring up. So,
Yeah, I mean, it brought up just a lot of different questions. A lot of different things are coming up. I'm really excited. I honestly, I'm just can't wait for the next build. I'm curious again. I do hope that they can find a solution about the NFT trees. That this game is vast, and I keep trying to stress that they set goals. They set a goal of Q3, which I think it's an achievable goal based on what it sounds like from everybody, from like Rob and Josh talked about in COPI Cafe. I feel like it's something that's doable for them. But I also want to make sure, and I'm glad that they're also going to be talking about the vesting schedule again, go recapping that in terms of the tokenomics of the with the
Hmm.
team and all that. I'm glad that they're going to bring that up as well. I can't wait to see the tokenomics.
I personally hope they have one of the economists on as a guest one day because,
Yeah.
Eddie and I want to thank the Knights Guild for letting us be a part of their amazing community. Eddie, congratulations on your promotion, by the way. We didn't
Oh
we didn't
yeah.
talk about that, but
Yeah, and likewise
congratulations.
back to you, man. And you're in the round
Uh,
table of the
I'm on
Knights Guild, man.
Yes,
Congratulations.
I made the joke when I first in the roundtable chat. I was said I go in there and they promoted. I go, now that I am your emperor, I have some things that I'm going to tell you some rules for you all to follow. And I was like waiting for people to laugh, and I was like, it's just a joke. No, I think maybe they thought it was
Yeah,
serious.
people can't take a joke, especially when you're writing something out. They just read it in their own way. They just read it all
Yeah,
mad,
right. I know, right? It was like, but then Scott came in there and he's like, "Oh God, what have we done?" So it was, uh,
My first action in the Discord was accidentally I was trying to delete my own message and I deleted someone else's that had congratulated me. They're
I
like,
know,
"Hey,
right?
great job, man." Delete.
Yeah,
I
right.
already started abusing my power on the
Yeah,
the Knights
right.
Guild.
My joke fell flat, and you're over there just deleting comments left and right. So, anyways, we're part of the Knights Guild. We're in it, and we're glad to be a part of it, and it means a lot to us. We're really grateful for
Yeah,
putting the trust in us to give us a little bit of leadership roles and a little
yeah.
bit of
And
juice in the guild. So that's really nice.
once
I
again,
want.
you gotta mint that also the breastplate as well. I mean, you gotta go
Oh
ahead
yeah,
and make
yeah,
sure that people go
definitely.
out there and mint.
That mess breastplate mint is still going on. Don't forget that. Definitely take a look at that.
Yeah.
If you need more information about the Knights Guild, check out their Discord. You can follow them on X. You can follow Eddie and I on X. We're also on TikTok. We're always posting our shorts on there, our videos. Thank you to Rob, Josh, David, and all of the team. Thank you to the moderators, especially this week. I wanted to do a shout out to Beowulf Cornelius, who was really helpful to me this week. I think the mods are kind of like the unsung heroes of Cornucopias because they do a lot of stuff behind the scenes and they keep the Discord a really nice, fun place where we all are kind of just getting along and talking about stuff. So I wanted to give a shout out to them. For what they do. Finally, please subscribe to Around the Corn's YouTube channel so you don't miss next week's episode where Eddie Z will attempt to spell the 10 largest words in the German language. So that's going to be Eddie Z next
which
week,
is
guys. Definitely tune in for that.
English.
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, adios.
Well, I was thinking like, like in the future, if there's events and like scenes where something happened, like if like I don't know, the Corn Mafia does like some damage somewhere, and we send I don't know, blocking out there and he's like doing a live broadcast from the scene where a Corn Mafia attacked this poor person who's right.
Like a news,
Yeah, right.
like
Like,
covering the scene. We've just witnessed a bank
yeah.
robbery dressed by three men. They just,
Yeah. What can you imagine?
it's like we're gonna go
Like
talk
they're
to the
like,
witnesses over there real quick. It's like I saw it. I saw it. They came out. I was so scared. I just, oh,
yeah,
man.
the man had a giant corn
he,
crown on his
he,
head with a
yeah,
ear of corn as
he
a
had
staff.